I don't think people realize the energy and effort it actually takes to feel alive. And I am here to help you do this in a very practical, easy, step-by-step, hold your hand way. I am not here to blow smoke up your butt and to tell you like, this is 3 easy steps, blah, blah, blah. Before we dive into today's episode, I wanted to remind you that this is the last call. It's the last call to fill out your application for the Alive coaching experience. Head on over to heatherchauvin.com/alive. That's Heather Chauvin, spelled CHAUVIN.com/alive, ALIVE. Inside of Alive, you are going to get immediate access to my energetic time management process. This is going to show you how to reverse engineer how you want to feel in every area of your life, giving you more time, more energy, and more focus. And not only that, we're going to dive deep into our emotional intelligence, showing you how to handle all life stressors when it comes to you. So head on over to heatherchauvin.com/alive. We start September 1st. Yes, and we will not be opening the doors for this program for the rest of the year. heatherchauvin.com/alive. That's your next baby step. This is you taking action to live a life that's in alignment with how you want to feel, so you can become the role model and become the adult your children need. The quality of your results truly are dependent on your ability to focus and master your energy and attention. Hello. Okay. Ladies, I'm diving in. Today is all about the Alive Q&A. So we have our Alive coaching experience starting September 1st. So if you are interested, today I am talking all about the Q&A. What I mean by that is the questions that I've been receiving about the Alive coaching experience. So I'm answering it here. But if you are interested, I'm going to be radically honest with you and say that we are not opening. This is not a program that you can join any time of the year. This is a program that we are launching live, and it will not be opening again. If it does launch again, it will be next year. And I don't know when that is. So this is kind of like a now or never vibe. And an opportunity for you to get a taste of my coaching. So all you have to do is go to Heather Chauvin, CHAUVIN.com/alive. It's a 30-day coaching container of space. When you go there, there's like a quick form that you fill out. It shows you what the program is about. You also get the opportunity to answer or to write any questions that you have before joining. And then my team and I review your application or review, if you have any questions. And then we will get back to you within the 24 hours and get you registered. So you do need to fill out your application before September 1st because our first call is on September 1st. So heatherchauvin.com/alive. The investment is there. We have a payment plan if you need it. And this is really just about you wanting to feel in control of your life. Okay. So I'm just going to go through the rapid Q&As. What is Alive, right? And why did I create it? So back in the day, I've been coaching women for a decade online. So for 10 years. My background is in social work, and my love is understanding human behavior. And my background actually started in child development and really seeing and understanding children's behavior and teaching parents how to create that connection within their families. So when I started my business, it was very parenting focused. And women would come in, because I primarily worked with women. Women would come in and they would say, fix my child's behavior. And I would work with the child. And I realized that the child wasn't the issue. The parent wasn't the issue either. It was how the child was being perceived, how the child was being communicated to, and how the child felt about themselves. So I don't believe that bad parenting equals bad children. I don't believe in any of that. I believe that all human behavior, yours and like every human, adult, child, is just a language. It's a symptom. So fast forward, as I was building my business and starting to talk to parents, and when parents refused to look at themselves, the behavior wouldn't change, right? Because you have to realize that we are in relationship to everybody in our lives. You're in relationship to your partner. You're in relationship to every human that you come into contact with. You're actually in relationship to yourself too. So fast forward, when I was diagnosed with cancer 8 years ago, I don't even remember. Oh God, 2013, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, long time ago. Not that long ago, but you get what I'm saying. Now I'm trying to do basic math in my head again. 9 years ago, when I was diagnosed 9 years ago, I immediately was like, ladies, we need to stop pretending that this is somebody else's issue. We need to stop blaming other people for how we feel or the lack of how we feel. So I started working with the parent and helping them see and understand their children. And the funny thing is as they became empowered, so did their children, right? Because we are leading the next generation. And then I started helping women who, wanted to either leave their corporate job or stay in their corporate job, but not burn out. And then I started helping women who were business owners, but were very overwhelmed in their business and also not producing the income that they wanted or desired. And this is all about creating a sustainable life for yourself, that we can actually have what we want and desire. We can go for it. We can have more time. We can have more energy. We can have better health. We can have more money. We can have whatever we want and desire, but it actually all starts with how you feel. And I always tell people, I'm like, fuck, I wish I was selling how to make green smoothies, because this is inner work. If you join a live, you are raising your hand and saying, I'm willing to do the inner work, right? I'm willing to get the results that I desire by looking within and not trying to change people on the outside. So my clients come in, and what we do, and this is what Alive is all about, is number one, we help you cast a vision. We help you get super crystal clear on what you actually want. Some people come in and say, I don't know what I want. And that's okay. We help you get clarity on that, because this is an unlearning and an undoing, right? And the beauty of this is it's a rinse and repeat process so that you get to choose again and again and again, just like a life practice. You do not eat one healthy meal and your health has changed. You don't go for one walk and you're done for the rest of your life. You have to do it again and again and again. It's habitual and it's habit. In Alive, this is not about learning information. This is about doing. So I think that's the biggest difference in my coaching compared to other people's, is you're not like, that's what the podcast is for. You're taking in information when you're listening to the podcast. You're taking in information when you're reading my book. The coaching is where we actually do it, where we implement it. Because just because you're learning about a concept, but you're not actually doing it, change is not going to happen. So Alive my coaching specifically is about the doing. So when you're on the inside, I'm not repeating the same thing over and over and over again. And you're like, I literally just heard this on your podcast. We're actually taking the concepts, especially my energetic time management process, and we're physically doing the work. So I attract busy women. I attract women with full plates. You are raising children. You most likely work. Actually, I think everybody works, even if you don't have a traditional working job, you're a house manager or something, but you're balancing a lot, right? And you're overwhelmed, most likely. You may want to have a desire to learn about emotional intelligence so you're not so triggered by other people. So you stop neglecting yourself. You want to master your guilt. You want to master your fear. You just want to become a fucking badass. Okay. You want to embody confidence, and you want to embody power and empowerment. And you want to help other people do this too. So you probably have a desire to make an impact. And you want to come back home to yourself, but you don't actually want to do it for yourself, right? So I tell people, I'm like, yeah, the side effect is that you will feel better. You will have more time, more energy, more money, if that's where you're focused, but you're also learning these skills on how to lead your family or other people. So if you are a leader in any capacity. So if you have, a social following, if you have a business, like this is how you actually lead more people feeling lighter and not freaking out about the responsibility or the stress or anything like that. So I'm also teaching you about stress management. A lot of people come in and, they've had a history of, needing, it might be anxiety or a history of people pleasing or a history of overdoing, right? You might identify as the responsible one and you're the strong one for everybody else, but you're like, I'm done being that person. So it's also an identity shift for you. Like, who am I and how can I show up in the world and communicate my needs and also deal with all of that? So when you're coming in, you are doing. You're learning, yes, but all of our calls, all of our live calls, whether you can attend them or not, there's replays. They are there to actually do the work. So you're not just sitting there. I really encourage people to be an active participant. A lot of times we use breakout rooms in Zoom. So I tell people, if you're like multitasking, like be where your feet are. Okay. So we're doing the work together. So if you're like, I don't have a lot of time, great. Then I have built this program for you. But if you're somebody who's like feeling tapped out and you're really scared of your future, you're uncertain of, you're in a lot of physical pain, meaning like you might be in, like your health might be deteriorating. This coaching program, Alive, is going to show you how to create the time and the space for you to feel better so that you can go work, go take care of your family, go do the things. This is for you if you're finding yourself yelling at your children one too many times and you are very ashamed of your behavior and you don't know how to stop. A lot of my clients report not yelling. I can't tell you the last time I yelled at my kids. And a lot of that is because yelling is a stress response. So if you don't know how to manage your yelling or your anger or resentment, it's just going to explode and you're going to take that out on your family or anyone. And that is going to negatively influence your relationship with them, which is going to cause future issues. So, you might go, well, is this for me? The essence of Alive is to how to feel alive. And I was having this conversation with a friend this morning, actually, because I said, I don't think people realize, there's a lot on the internet around manifesting and like how to live your best life and to do all those things, which is why the podcast is called Emotionally Uncomfortable, because I don't think people realize the energy and effort it actually takes to feel alive. And I am here to help you do this in a very practical, easy, step-by-step, hold your hand way. I am not here to blow smoke up your butt and to tell you like, this is 3 easy steps, blah, blah, blah. I am living proof that you can raise children, neurodiverse and neurotypical children. You can have a cancer diagnosis. You can be married. You can be all the things. You can run a business and feel fucking proud of yourself and feel like I'm a good human. I'm doing great. I'm so imperfect and I'm doing the best that I can, but I am fucking proud of myself. It takes energy and effort. And so I have created a live specifically for the woman who might be very nervous to work with me in another capacity. A lot of times the objections that I get from people are all emotional based, of course. But one of the biggest ones that I see is this like disbelief that life can change, right? We get comfortable in our mindset, comfortable in our belief systems. And when you're comfortable and you don't trust that change is possible, you don't take action. And so that is what Alive is for. It's the 30 days to give you a taste and I want you to see results and I want to prove it to you that you can see results. So that is my gift to you. So again, go to Heather Chauvin, CHAUVIN.com/alive, ALIVE, and just fill out the quick form. But what I typically see is people come in and the nerves are there. They're like fear of the unknown. What if I don't have time for this? Perfectionism it kind of flares up your perfectionism. It brings up all of your wounds, like your worthiness stuff, everything that was actually stopping you from getting the results that you wanted or desired comes to the surface. And that is the whole fucking point, right? You're coming into this coaching container of space. You're being held. You're also being held accountable, meaning like you're not a number here. You can't just run and hide. There's somebody checking in on you. It's very community oriented. You have the live calls and it's a no-brainer. So let's talk about value. So Alive is $2,000. And we have a payment plan, and I forget what day we had, but if you filled out the application before a specific day, you got $500 off. So it's $1,500 or $2,000. And again, I'm giving you the $500 off as my gift to you. I always like to say, you're fucking welcome. This program is about you taking a stand for how you want to feel in your life. Let's talk about money, for example, because that is a huge objection for people. And this is what I find. It's never about the money. I truly believe in oppression. I truly believe that people cannot afford certain things. And I also see how people on the internet are like, it's never about the money. If you really wanted this, you would make it happen 100%. But I am not going to walk into a car dealership with an unrealistic expectation of this like $100 or $200 or $1 million car that I can't afford. And then the car salesmen say, if you really wanted this, you would make it happen. Yeah, you're right. If I really, really wanted it, I would make it happen. Here's the thing. When you're making conscious decisions in your life, like intentional investing, meaning investing your money, it brings awareness to your feelings. But how many times have you gone to the grocery store, gone to the mall, gone to Costco, Amazon.com, and unconsciously spent, and then went back into your bank account and line by line added up all the things that you didn't need, right? all the things that you didn't need. That would equal way more than this program. And by your actions of buying things that you didn't need, do you need an extra pair of shoes? Do you need the extra clothes? Do you need that useless shit at Costco? Do you really need all that food that you are just going to throw away because, the vegetables that die in your fridge, the takeout that you're buying because you don't have the time or energy to meal prep? All of these things, right? So if we go line by line in our spending, you can make up the money. It's not that big of a deal. Let's say you can't though, okay? I want you to ask yourself, especially if you're a business owner, you can go out there in the world and make more money. The internet these days, my children make money on the internet. My son takes things around the house and sells them on Facebook Marketplace and makes money. Like the other week, he just made $200. And there's so many ways to make money. You can be a dog walker on Rover, the Rover app, ROVER. You can clean someone's house. You can do anything for anyone. And you can become a virtual assistant. You could do administrative work for people online. There are 1 million things that you can do. But I think, again, this goes back to being uncomfortable. Are you willing to take a little bit of time now, reassess where you're focusing your financial attention to get more? So again, that's why we have an application. So if someone's like, I really want this and I don't know how to make it happen, write that on your application. I'm a huge fan of meeting people where they're at, but I'm also going to challenge you. And I remember when I started my journey and I had nothing. And I always go back to this story because I don't get it. So I was a single mom. I was 18 years old. I was on welfare, government assistance, and I still went to therapy. So some of those therapies were free. I would go get free therapy, or I would, figure out how to get subsidized therapy. But sometimes it wasn't. And I had to pay out of pocket. And I always made it happen. And in hindsight, I was wondering, what was the difference between that and now when people make six figures, right? And still can't afford it? I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And there's so much to unpack there. But to be honest, it's just priorities. And so when you want something bad enough, you will make it happen, right? Think about a child who really, really wants something. Think about somebody that you know who is struggling with drugs or alcohol, how bad they get what they want. This to me is not about the money, because this is about asking for what you need. This is about speaking up for what you need, your desires. This is also about the learning or the work actually starts before you even enter the program. And I've thought about ethically how I like to do business. And I know that the work that I do is very, very healing and very transformational. But I also know that not everyone is willing to do this work. People are addicted to their excuses. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I don't have the energy. But when a program is designed to give you more time and give you more energy, and consequently make you more money, you have to be willing to show up and do the work. And if you're not willing to show up and do the work, you're not going to see results. And ironically, it actually takes way less time, way less energy, and way less money than people think it does. But we have to face our shit. So there's the handling the money stuff. If you want something bad enough, look at where you're spending your money. Look at where you can cut back. Look at where you can gain money. charging for something, if you do have a business, how can you make that happen? But most of the time it's just asking for what you need, and then also giving yourself permission to want what you want. And that is emotionally uncomfortable. But if you're determined to be successful, you will find a way. When I think about my journey and my story, both mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, all the things, I think about how I used to be on welfare, and now that is like so far removed from my money consciousness of who did I need to become, right? So there's the money. Time. How long is this going to take? An hour a week, minimum, an hour a week. If you want to see results, give yourself permission 20 minutes a day. You can do it in the morning. You can do it at night. But the whole point of this program is to give you more time and more energy. So in the beginning, I find it's more of the fear of what if. So that's why it's designed to be 30 days. It's there to help you gain momentum. But if you put on your calendar 20 minutes a day, either in the morning or at night, or while you're driving or whatever it is, and you make time for it, do it on your lunch break, you'll make it happen. I do this work all the time with my kids around. I wear noise canceling headphones. I'll sit in my car. You just have to make time, and 20 minutes a day will get you there, but you have to be willing to be committed to that. So there's the time. Energy, when you don't have energy, you just have to, you have to think about it. Are you okay being where you are? Right. So I used to be chronically fatigued. I couldn't keep my eyes open. I'd wake up and just pound coffee. Life sucked. And my kids were young, and it wasn't just because my kids were young. I was not healthy mentally and physically. And it was a journey, but I was determined. And now I have more energy than I ever had. And people assume that I'm a weirdo and that I take certain things. And I'm like, no, I prioritize my health. And when I prioritize my health, my energy gets bigger. And when my energy gets bigger, I can get more done. And when I get more done, I get better results. And when I get better results, I create momentum, and then, rinse and repeat. So all the things. This program is designed to give you more energy. And a lot of times people assume energy is a physical thing. And after talking to a lot of my hormone friends and friends who work within women's health, they've said to me, Heather, you're actually helping women balance their hormones. And you're doing the physical and emotional. But a lot of women are blaming their bodies for their lack of energy, but in reality, it's their mindset. And this, yes, I work on your mind, but it also shows you how to take the physical action to generate more energy in your life. So you get more time, you get more energy, you can make more money if that's where you're focused, and connection. So let's talk about connection. So a lot of people will come to me and say, I'm really overwhelmed with my children's behavior. I do not understand. I'm yelling. It's so frustrating. I'm triggered. I'm so fucking triggered. It might be your partner. It may be your business, might be your team, if you have a team in business. It may be your colleagues, your extended family, your neighbors, your friends, all of the things. But if you have a lack of disempowerment in your relationships, you will not feel like a good person, and you're not going to have the confidence or the courage to go after what you want. And so I see a direct correlation with the people that I work with. When they have an intimate relationship that is struggling, whether it's parenting or their marriage, it directly influences their work directly. And it's not about, getting a divorce or whatever. It's about understanding where am I, right? And my confidence and my knowing and all of that, and my identity as a person. And where does that other person end? And so that could be a child, right? Your child is struggling, and it brings us down because we're so energetically connected to our children or our partnership. And what I tell people there is the only thing that you have control over is you. And regardless of your future, I believe the stronger you become emotionally and physically, that is when you can make a decision from confidence. I have so many stories from women who have worked with me and maybe in the back of their mind have said, I think my future might end in divorce. And I'm like, well, we don't have to make that decision right now. You're a grown-ass woman and you get to make that decision when you're ready. And they've gone the traditional route. They've done the therapy, they've done the couples counseling. And I'm like, I'm not here to help you I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to empower you. And I'm here to show you how to become a better version of you so that if and when you have to make those decisions, you get to do it from a more empowered place. And that decision from a more empowered place is really about, it doesn't matter what your future holds. You're always going to be in relationship with people. You're always going to be in relationship with your children, regardless of if, you've pissed them off and they leave the nest or whatever it is. You're always a parent. You're not a parent until your child is 18. I'm like, hello, no one told me this, but as my children are getting older and my oldest is 17, it's actually becoming way more emotionally challenging. And I am so fucking grateful for what I teach because I don't know where I would be without this foundation. I've been able to find my own identity. I've been able to grow a thriving business, even while I'm dealing with navigating new seasons in parenting and my identity as a parent. And so you become a different version of yourself. And so I see a lot of people living in fear and living in guilt and living very not trusting the world, not trusting themselves. And this program in particular, and who I typically attract, are women beyond what you do professionally or if you have children or not. I attract women who have always had this inner knowing that they were meant for bigger things. And that inner knowing is really, really, really calling their name. And life contrast might be there. So this is for you if you are somebody who wants to be around other game-changing women. This is for you if you want to be around women whose focus is how good can it get. This is for you if you want to be around women who are not stuck in their victim mentality, right? They have this how can I attitude, shit's hitting the fan, but how can I feel in control of it without being controlling? And the pursuit of aliveness, the pursuit of how good can it get? So if you are ready to dive in, again, applications close. Okay. So we start September 1st. Get your application in ASAP. So head on over to Heather Chauvin, CHAUVIN.com/alive, ALIVE. We will not, I repeat, we will not be opening the doors again to this particular coaching program for the rest of the year. And I do not currently know when we will be opening the doors again. So if you have been listening to me and you're like, this is amazing, loving the book, if you've listened to the book or read the book and you're enjoying the podcast, but you're like, I have no idea how to integrate this work into my life, and you want to become a more empowered woman, you want to be more confident, you want to let go of that overwhelm, and you kind of want to jump into more ease and sustainability, and you're like, fuck yes, I want to live my best life, but you don't know where to focus your energy and attention, this is for you. So if you have any additional questions, you can private message me on Instagram at Heather Chauvin, CHAUVIN, or you could fill out the application and write your questions on the application before registering. So we look at those questions and then we answer them via email before you register. So that's it. If you're like, well, specifically, this is my problem. How is this program going to fix that? Write that down, send it to me in a private message. But I'm telling you right now, if you want to stop yelling, if you want to feel more alive in your mind and your body and your soul, if you want to live your best life and go after your dreams, if you want to be so fucking proud of yourself, and more importantly, you want to make your children proud, you want to rise above and be like, I'm going to become the person emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually that I want my children to become, that is where you need to start. So heatherchauvin.com/alive. We start September 1st. Get your application in.
One issue I had before I started working with Heather was I felt like a mouse on a wheel. I was running around. I'd get to the end of my week and I had no idea what I'd even done with my week. It was like I was busy all of the time, but never moving forward, never accomplishing things. And working with her really gave me tons of perspective of how I could be in control of my own time. And by doing that, it helped serve my family because I could be proactive with our week and our schedule, and really how I started showing up just in little nuances, I would say, just a little bit differently each day and each week, just by taking control of that. Some frustrations I had prior to working with Heather were constant feelings of just not feeling good enough. And truly, as a mother of 3 daughters, looking at my life and saying, what kind of role model am I being for my 3 girls? And is the life that I'm leading one that I would actually want for them? I remember the moment where I started to notice that the program was really working for me. And it was when I was just starting to build a business really slowly, and I decided to do an in-person workshop. And it was something couldn't even believe I was doing. Like, who am I to host a workshop and teach other people? But through the coaching and support of Heather, helping me really tap into my own worthiness and saying, I have a message to share with other women. I remember attending the workshop and presenting and leaving that workshop with my soul feeling on fire. And I remember feeling incredible.